All right, hello and welcome in. My name is Zach Rieger, and I want to thank you for joining us here at Central State Bank Arena here on the beautiful campus at the University of Montevallo. Today is Senior Day, and as far as acrobatics and tumbling matchups go, we've got a great one here this afternoon. The Montevallo Falcons take on the number 14 Bearcats of Lander University.
The first event is the compulsory event. The compulsory event consists of 4 heats.
All right, here in a second, we're going to show you a clip to explain our first event, the compulsory event.
The first event is the compulsory event. The compulsory event consists of 4 heats, an acro heat, a pyramid heat, a toss heat, and a tumbling heat. These skills for the compulsory event represent the basic skills of the sport of acrobatics and tumbling. In this event, each team will execute the same skills for direct comparison. Each heat begins with a starting value of 10, and the officials will be looking for execution, body positions, and stability of structures.
All right, as you were just informed, Lander's going to take the mat for the first heat of compulsory event. This is acro event we're going to be seeing here. We've got Olivia Brewer, Caden Groom, Rihanna Philcox, and Casey Sutherland on the mat. Excuse me, no. Actually, yeah, that is correct. In one group. Pretty good synchronization to start here for Lander, number 14 team in the country. Very well coached squad. Preseason number 1 in the Conference Carolinas. The tops are going to look to switch over here from base to base. Very nicely done. Good lines. Synchronized dismounts. Nice catch by number 11 on the right side of your screen. Well done. That other group in compulsory acro, folks, Ashlyn Shively, Kayla Martin, Chloe Powers, Alana Eckert, and the counter, Caitlin Sklau. Start values across the board for the compulsory event are 10.0 apiece. They got 40 points up for grab here between both teams. As far as the matchup, like I said previously, Lander, very well coached, a tough team, number 14 in the country currently. I'd predict we see, these two teams trading pretty high scores, pretty similar scores. They've scored also very similarly earlier in the season. Montevallo has only competed twice, scoring in the high 240s, and their season and program best being a 251 a month ago against Mars Hill. And Lander has a high mark of 260.845 and also has scored as low as 247, but they hover between that range. Two very similar scoring teams. In acro, as a sport in total, you'll see if you look on the schedules that there's highs and lows in scoring. It really depends on what the judges see, but all signs based on previous matchups and the numbers, we're going to see a nail biter here with several lead changes in between events. As we wait for the judges to tally their scores for Lander's compulsory acro heat, in one group for the Falcons upcoming, we'll have Michaela Robinson, Peyton Roach, Morgan Wright, and Corinne Wilcox. On the other side, Katie Quinn, Ali Torres, Rylan McAllister, Caitlin Smith, and the counter will be Tabella Fashukanu. In the meet against Mars Hill a month ago, the Falcons scored a 35.00 out of 40 points in the compulsory event, highlighted by a 9.80 in the pyramid heat and a 9.75 in the toss heat. And here come the Falcons to begin their senior day meet. 10.0 start value. You'll see number 17, Katie Quinn, and Michaela Robinson up top right now. McAllister, 19, and Morgan Wright. Number 16 on the opposite side. Roach on the right side now as the base, as the top straddle. Popping over. Nicely timed by the Falcons. Nicely done. And they'll twist down with great timing. Nicely done. The Falcons are excited. Teams look pretty evenly matched. I know it's only been one heat so far in the first event, but you got to think there's more of this to come. Both these teams compete in the Conference Carolinas, and the Falcons in the preseason were ranked 5th out of 10. The Falcons beat preseason number 3 ranked in the Conference Carolinas, Mars Hill. Wingate was number 4, Coker at 2, and Lander was preseason number 1, and that rounds off the top 5. Currently, Wingate sits atop the Conference Carolinas standings with a 5-0 record, having just barely edged Lander in a previous matchup. Lander ended up losing to Wingate 251.925 to Wingate's 252.365. So the top of the Conference Carolinas, you might as well flip a coin. These teams between Wingate, Lander, and Montevallo, seem to score pretty similarly and have a very similar skill sets as well. Montevallo is currently 2nd in the standings while Lander sits at 4th. Interestingly enough, Conference Carolinas is one of 2 conferences in the country that sponsor acrobatics and tumbling alongside the Mountain East Conference. Teams like Frostburg State, Fairmont State, Glenville State as well are teams that have made some appearances not only in the championship tournament but in the event finals. Thank you, though. Come on.
Hey, you're so busy.
You trust me, I know.
Good job.
Good luck. I'll introduce the pyramid compulsory heat of athletes for Lander. Rachel Webster, Alana Eckert, Audra Kaiser, Morgan Axiotis, Brianna Philcox, and Riley Hoffman will make up one pyramid group. Julie Smitsko, Lainey Carell, Caden Groom, Ashlyn Shively, Kayla Martin, Chloe Powers, and the counter will be Danielle Casisto. Lander scores very well in the compulsory event, having scored a 36.45 in their most recent matchup against number 11 St. Leo. Both the Falcons and Bearcats lost to number 11 St. Leo this year. St. Leo, one of those consistent teams that hovers around the top 10 at least the last 2 years. Lander in the compulsory pyramid event in their last competition scored 9.70 along with a 9.30 in acro. In the toss heat, 9.60 and a 7.85 in compulsory tumbling. In more Conference Carolinas news, we're going to see a bunch of talented athletes. A previous specialist of the week for the Conference Carolinas was their very own Lexi Cole. She was awarded that honor on February 17th following their competition against Mars Hill. Cole was very good in the acro event. She was the top in the Acro Heat 1 and the Acro Heat 3 in both meets against St. Leo and Mars Hill. Against Mars Hill, Cole, along with Rylan McAllister and Alessandra Vega in the 5 element, helped the Falcons score their first ever 10 score in program history, and it was exciting to watch. And she's definitely well deserving of the honor. We'll get a good look at Lexi Cole, one of the great specialists in Conference Carolinas. Montevallo then went on to score an 8.15 in Heat 3 against St. Leo, and the Falcons scored an 8.0 in Acro Heat 1 and 9.20 in Acro Heat 3. All right.
First up in the compulsory pyramid heat will be Lander.
Here comes Lander. Some synchronized thigh stand pyramids. Top straddle on the mids. Lander definitely excited after that one. Along with Lexi Cole, Lander's got a pretty talented group of athletes too, namely a recent athlete of the week in Conference Carolina is Ashlyn Shively, a junior out of Pinehurst, North Carolina. She competes in 10 heats for Lander against number 11 St. Leo. She helped the Bearcats outscore St. Leo in 4 different heats as they scored 9.75 in compulsory toss, 9.65 in the Acro Heat 1, 9.70 in Toss Heat 1, and 8.95 in Toss Heat 2. Shively contributed to scores of 9.15 in compulsory acro, 9.45 in compulsory pyramid, 7.10 in compulsory tumbling, 8.5 in Acro Heat 2, and 9.35 in Pyramid Heat 1. Needless to say, Shively, incredibly talented. Alongside the help of her teammates, she's well deserving of the honor, Athlete of the Week. Coming up for Montevallo in the compulsory pyramid, we've got Michaela Robinson, Corinne Wilcox, Lizzie Sims, Tabella Fashucano, Olivia Preston, and Morgan Wright will make up one group. In the second group, Lexi Cole, Alessandra Vega, Taylor Spaney, Vanessa Portuondo, Alyssa Craig, Peyton Roach, and the counter will be senior Caitlin Smith, number 21. Wilcox and Vega. The mids, Cole, number 7 on your right side, Robinson on the left. Straddling, popping over into the waiting arms of their bases. By my eye, both the teams look fairly evenly matched through 2 heats. We'll see what the judges have to say here after the next two. But the energy's high for both teams currently. And they're definitely happy with their performance so far. Lander rakes in the honors. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Kayla Martin of the Bearcats, a junior base out of Chapin, South Carolina. Solid for Lander. She's a specialist of the week against number 11 St. Leo. She helped Toss Heat 2 outscore St. Leo with an 8.95 score and helped the Toss Heat 3 group score 9.20 out of 9.40. We'll see two synchronized tosses here for the Bearcats. Jalen Barrientes will take to the air along with number 2, Ashlyn Shivey, that player of the week. Previously, great height on the tosses, incredible timing on the way down. Nicely done by the Bearcats. Lander's looking good early. They got a lot of good energy coming in here. Same with the Falcons. Up next for the Falcons, one of the toss groups, we'll see Tracy Leopold, Ashley Allen, Muriel Palmore, Morgan Wright, and Tabella Fashukanu. In the other group, we'll see Katie Quinn, Allie Torres, Corinne Wilcox, Peyton Roach, Zoe Cooper, and the counter will be Daisy Grace Middleton.
Next in the compulsory toss will be Montevallo.
Here we go. Here come the Falcons. 10.0 start value. Looks like number 23, Leopold. On the left side of your screen. Quinn on the right will take to the air. Good timing as well. Nicely done. Maybe not as much height as Lander, but the technique, the back tuck, the timing, well done. The only thing you could maybe say was different, just based on my vantage point, was the height differential. But other than that, nicely timed, great execution on the back tucks, excellent work by the bases, catching their flyers. Nicely done by the Falcons and Bearcats alike. We're gonna move to tumbling heat. Excuse me, yeah, it is the tumbling heat. I gotta get my words right. We'll see Ashlyn Shively, Morgan Axiotis, Jaden Izari, Julie Smitko, Jalen Barrientes, Audra Kaiser, Chloe Powers, and Kaden Groom doing some standing tumbling and a running tumbling pass.
Final heat of the compulsory event will be the tumbling heat. First up in the compulsory tumbling heat will be Lander.
The judges are scoring pretty quickly too. If that's any indication, the scores are getting out quick. There's maybe not too much to deduct. Here come the Bearcats. Some standing tumbling to open. Good timing, feet together. Good landings. They're not allowed to step in the standing tumbling. solid. Lander's doing a good job of keeping their feet together to mitigate those steps. Really nice job synchronized, not looking like they took too many steps, if any. Lander's got to be pretty happy with that one. Nicely done by the Bearcats. The Falcons are in their second season in program history. They currently sit at a record of 1-1. They're 2-0 in the conference. The Falcons opened up with a loss to number 11 St. Leo, 244.565 to 259.840 for St. Leo. St. Leo having beaten both of these teams, well-coached team in their own right. The Falcons scored their first conference win in program history on Valentine's Day with a program best score of 251.990 to Mars Hill's 238.480. So a convincing victory for the Falcons, who earned their first conference win a month ago. Highlights of that meet: there was a 9.90 in compulsory pyramid and a perfect 10 for Lexi Cole and company in the 5-element acro heat. The Falcons scored well in the pyramid event with 2 scores over 9.0, with a 9.75 in the inversion pyramid. Ali Torres scored well in the open tumbling pass with a score of 8.500. The other notch in the victory column comes by way of forfeit from Emmanuel University. However, that forfeit does not count towards Montevallo's overall NCATA record, hence the 1-1 mark on the season.
Compulsory tumbling heat will be Montevallo.
All right, we'll conclude the compulsory event. We'll see number 1 Spaney, Robinson, Fashukanu, Torres, Wright, Quinn, McAllister, and Cooper for the Falcons. Nicely done. Feet together, no steps, nicely timed. Again, nicely done. Nice timing, feet together. Running pass, we're gonna look for good synchronization, no steps at the end at the other side of the mat. Nicely done. Both teams are showing up, folks. A beautiful afternoon for acro here in sunny Montevallo, Alabama.
And then I'll do this announcement, and then after that plays the outro video. While we're waiting for the combined results of this event in our meet standings, let's introduce our next event.
The second event is the acro event. This marks the beginning of the optional portion of the meet.
The second event is the acro event. This marks the beginning of the optional portion of the meet. Each team will compete with skills previously chosen with different possible start values. There will be between 2 and 4 athletes in a group on the floor in each of the 3 heats. Heat 1 has 5 elements, Heat 2 has 6 elements, and Heat 3 has 7 elements. The start value is determined by the difficulty and combination of each skill. In addition, each position must be held for 3 seconds. This event demonstrates power, strength, and balance.
All right, folks, like you saw previously on our screen, we're going to enter the acro event following the scores of the compulsory heat. The judges are marking those up right now. The point totals are going to differ, the start values, that is, in the acro heat for both teams. Lander has an acro event start value of 29.85, while Montevallo's start value 29.70, a 0.15 difference. Earlier, prior to the season, Conference Carolinas released a name of players to watch alongside with the preseason rankings I mentioned previously. Lexi Cole, who we mentioned in the Open, tumbler and top from Fort Myers, Florida. Rylan McAllister also accompanied Cole in that 10, in that perfect 10 a month ago. And sophomore Katie Quinn, also one of those players to watch for your Falcons. And the Falcons also have a number of returning academic All-Americans. Smart as they are talented, Lexi Cole, Sarah Hunt, Rylan McAllister, Katie Quinn, Peyton Roach, a senior, Allie Torres, Corinne Wilcox, also a senior, and Morgan Wright round off the returning academic All-Americans. Scores are up on our screen here. Montevallo is going to take the Acro Heat with an 8.900. They're also going to edge out Lander in Pyramid by 0.05. Lander takes toss. Tumbling event goes to the Falcons, and the Falcons are going to take a narrow lead by 0.300 into Acro event. Running total thus far, Lander 35.450, the Falcons 35.750. Nicely done. Pyramid is going to look to be a strength of both these teams. Toss as well, both teams scoring very well. Lower marks in tumbling, which I would largely say is one of the great equalizers in the sport. You got great tumbling, you got a really good chance to win later on in the meet. But impressive start here. If these numbers hold, we're going to see a really close one down the stretch here, folks. Great start for both teams. Narrow margins for error so far.
Now it's time to begin the Acro event. The first heat will be the 5-element.
5-element Acro coming up here, folks. We'll see Shively, Philcox, Dean, Carroll, and the counter, Michaela Cruson. Shively. Up top, Conference Carolinas Athlete of the Week. She'll do a half round. Good catch by the base. Looking to stabilize. Full on the way down. Nicely done. Shively straddles and will pop over from Dean to Philcox. Start value for Heat 1 Acro for Lander, a 10.0. They're going to hope to get every one of those. Montevallo on the other side, their Heat 1 will also have a 10.0 start value. This is that group that we mentioned in the Open, Lexi Cole, Rylan McAllister, and Alessandra Vega. Absolutely hoping a repeat of a perfect 10. Very difficult to do. However, crazier things have happened, folks. Lander enters this meet with a 3-2 record. The Bearcats narrowly dropped their season opener to Wingate, one of those other top 5 teams in the conference. Wingate prevailing 252.365 to the Bearcats 251.952. One of the closer margins of victory that you'll see. Lander followed that opening loss with 3 impressive victories against Francis Marion, where they scored a season-high 260.854. Again, another quick score from the judges makes you think there's not much to deduct. McAllister. Cole climbing up. Cole into a straddle. Will press to handstand. And she'll look to come through the middle on the pike. Not quite enough strength to hold it. Falcons are definitely going to look to rebound from 5-element, and all those athletes will get an opportunity. We'll see Cole and McAllister later in the acro event as well. Just did not quite have the strength to come through the middle on that pike and get her feet through. Heat 2 for the Bearcats. Lander's going to have a 9.85 start value. One group in the 6-element synchronized heat. One group's going to be Eckert, Axiotis, Berrientes, and Smitko. Irizarry, Groom, Powers, Casisto, and the counter will be Carell. Little more about Lander's season. They scored identical totals in their next 2 victories following their 260.845 win over Francis Marion. Against Mars Hill and Belmont Abbey, they scored, you know what, that's actually a tri-meet, I would imagine. So they scored the victory against both teams. They won the tri-meet with a score of 253.995. And most recently, the Bearcats falling to St. Leo, who also beat the Falcons. Lander suffering a 5-point loss. And there, again, pretty quick scoring from our judges. Makes for, pretty good pacing for the meet. Testament to how well coached these teams are. Not many errors that the judges are seeing currently. Here we go, synchronized heat, 6-element acro. Some toe pitches. Layout on the way down. Looking really well timed. More toe pitches. Full offs. 9.85 start value for the Bearcats. Quick to straddle and pop over are the Bearcats. Will they switch over? No, they will not. They'll just come right down through the middle. They're pretty happy with that one, too. How could you not be? They look sharp. Montevallo's going to look to match that here. Their start value for the Falcons slightly less at 9.70 for the synchronized heat. One group's going to make up is going to be Corinne Wilcox, a senior, Tracy Leopold, a freshman, Ashley Allen, a sophomore, and number 1 Taylor Spaney, a freshman. The second group is going to feature Katie Quinn, Zoe Cooper, Tabella Fashukanu, and sophomore number 9 Olivia Preston. The counter will be Caitlin Smith, a senior.
Next is start value 9.7, Montevallo.
9.70, the start value for the Falcons. Smith, the counter. Cooper, the base on your left. Wilcox, number 12, on the right. Leopold and Quinn. Hitting some layouts to dismount. Walking into half rounds. Great recovery by 23. That's Leopold. Maybe a little shaky there. Maybe a little bit off timing there on the dismount, those tuck-offs. Toe pitch to inversions. That was Preston on the left. Nicely done. A great recovery on the right side by Leopold, Cooper, and Preston. Kind of early there, trying to mitigate that fall. Seen some good strength and balance from the two of them. Lander's going to come in Heat 3 with a 10.0 start value, matching their Heat 1 value. We'll see Shively, Philcox, Kaiser, Martin, and the counter will be Michaela Cruson. Lander is coached by Sarah DiSpaltro, who's in her 5th season and is the first coach in Lander's history. DiSpaltro was a Glenville State graduate out of the Mountain East. She's assisted by Ryan Swope, Avery Marquis, and Madison Owens. In the acro event against Mars Hill, Montevallo scored an even 27.00. To which, on the other side, Lander against St. Leo scored a 28.60. If those numbers hold, Lander slightly has an edge, and that reads the same in the start values across the board as well.
Heat 3 of this event will be the 7 element. Up first for the start value 10, Lander.
Nice walk in to start. Solid half round. You're not going to see any movement there. Shively with the layout. Great execution by number 2. Right back into a toe pitch. Shively will full off, caught by her bases. Shively into a straddle. She'll hold and pop over. And she'll come through the middle to conclude the heat with a 10.0 start value. The coach is on the opposite side of the mat. Very pleased with what they saw. Looking to maximize that 10.0 start value. On the other side, Montevallo is going to have their 10.0 start value as well. They're second of the event. Lexi Cole, Rylan McAllister, Allie Torres, and Morgan Wright, a quartet of sophomores will take the mat. the total meet start values for these teams, Lander's got a 12-point advantage. Their meet start value is 284.15. Meanwhile, the Falcons sit at a 276.55. And depending how the deductions, it's very rare you'll see teams meet their total start values, but we should see some high scoring here, absolutely.
Next with a start value 10, Montevallo.
After a quick tally at the scorers table, here come the Falcons. Torres in right. Right the base, Torres. Into a toe pitch. Torres with the layout. Cole and McAllister. A good walk in. Adjusting is McAllister right into a press extension. Good hold, great strength. Adjusting once more. Cole into that same position from 5 element. And she'll come right through the middle. They're happy with that one too. Nicely done. Definitely a good bounce back heat for the Falcons. Cole and McAllister. Nicely done. Wright and Torres.
This completes our acro
Group of
event.
sophomores. Nicely done. We're going to wait for the judges to get the final tallies for the acro event. Here in a second, we're going to show you and introduce the pyramid event to you guys.
Will be the final event in the first half. In the pyramid event, athletes will build 3 layers in a structure. The start value of each heat is determined by the difficulty and the combination of entry, structure, and distance.
The third event is the pyramid event. The pyramid event will be the final event in the first half. In the pyramid event, athletes will build 3 layers in a structure. The start value of each heat is determined by the difficulty and the combination of the entry, structure, and dismount. The pyramid event has 3 different heats with different requirements for each heat. Heat 1 must be an inversion, Heat 2 must be synchronized, and Heat 3 is an open heat. 2 key things the officials will be looking out for are the position of the top and the stability of the structure.
Pyramid event is going to be our final event of the first half, and those pyramid event scores will be available after the halftime intermission. The start value advantage for pyramid is going to go to Montevallo. Their start values are going to be 10.0 across the board. They're going to try to get every bit of those 30 points that they have available. Lander, their start value slightly less at 29.80. And depending on the numbers for acro event, we'll get to see if this one's going to go down to the wire or not. At least be a good indication of it.
Scores are in for acro event. Please direct your attention to the video board.
Scores should be coming in here momentarily, folks. Lander is going to take 5 element, 9.400 to Montevallo's 9.150. They'll take 6 element as well. pretty big differential there. 8.800 for the 6 element, 7.050 for the Falcons. Lander takes 7 element 2 with a .400 advantage. Lander takes the event by just about 2 points, a little over 2 points, and they'll take a 2-point advantage into pyramid event. Montevallo's got some work to do in pyramid event. Both these teams strong pyramid competitors as well, high start values across the board. Lander takes a 2-point advantage into the final event in the first half.
First with a start value of 9.8, Lander.
You'll see a host of Bearcats in the center. Webster, the mid, standing atop, looks like 4 bases. There's a lot of people involved in this pyramid. 2 thigh stands, 270 up, hand in hand high. Here's what we're going to see from number 4. That's Axiotis, high hand in hand, way up top. She'll twist and fall into the cradle. That's a long way down. Good work by the bases at the front side of your screen there. Nicely done. That start value was 9.80. Lander's going to have 10.0 in the next 2 heats. Looking to heat 1 for the Falcons, Lexi Cole, Rylan McAllister, Zoe Cooper, Morgan Wright, Olivia Preston, and Alyssa Craig will make up heat 1. Their start value 10.0. And Katie Quinn, the sophomore, number 17, will be your counter. Thumbs up from the scorers table. And we're going to introduce your Falcons here for one of pyramid. Looks like Cooper's going to start in a bridge. McAllister will be the mid. We'll see Morgan Wright help Lexi Cole. Cole hit a 270 up. We're gonna go low hand in hand here from Cole and McAllister. Great stability. Nicely done, a nicely timed hold. Cole falls into the cradle. Nicely done, 10.0 start value for the Falcons. Heat 1 across the board, nicely executed from both teams. Lander is into heat 2 with a 10.0 start value of their own.
Now time for Pyramid Heat 2.
Another quick score from the judges, and we're moving right along, folks. 10.0 start value. We'll see dueling bridge pyramids here in the synchronized heat. Shively and Brewer, 270 up. They'll hit straddles here. Nice hold, great stability, strong base work, strong mid work, maybe a little bit off on the timing there on the 360 on the way down, and that's really the only thing you could maybe point to that the judges could deduct. Obviously, they got a more keen eye for this stuff than I do, but you just, based on what you can see, a little obvious deduction there. We're going to move into the 10.0 start value for the Falcons in the synchronized heat. One group's going to be 17, Quinn, 25, Cooper, 24, Portuondo, number 8, Ali Torres, number 16, Morgan Wright, number 9, Olivia Preston. 5 sophomores and a freshman. And on the next group, we'll see familiar faces, Cole and McAllister. We'll see number 22, Muriel Palmore, number 6, Ashley Allen, Peyton Roach, another senior, and Alyssa Craig, a freshman. The counter will be senior Caitlin Smith. And we absolutely need to show some love to the counters in acrobatics and tumbling. They keep the rhythm of the events, of what these athletes need to execute and at what time. I've likened it to even a snap count in football. When the sound is there, I mean, these athletes need to be where they have to be, hit their landmarks at any of those numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they got to snap right to it. So we got to show some love for the counters here and the rhythm that they keep in a number of these heats, a number of these events. Synchronized pyramid. Cooper and McAllister, the mids. Looks like a couple dueling thigh stand pyramids. Cole and Quinn will 270 up, push extensions up top. Quinn fighting for it. An unfortunate fall on the right-hand side there. Couldn't quite hold it for a 3 count. An unfortunate fall. Lander's going to take a 10.0 start value into Heat 3, the open heat. In the open heat for Lander, we'll see Shively, Kaiser, Carell, Phil Cox, and Sutherland. Counter is going to be Phoenix Woodward. As I mentioned previously, the Falcons are in their second year as a program, and so is the head coach, Katie Horstman. She's also in her second year. She did a few years at Trine University up in Northeast Indiana. And her assistant coach, Mel Lowe, is in her first year on the staff. Coach Lowe was an athlete of Coach Katie's at Trine University and transferred to Montevallo a few years ago to complete her acro career. Graduated last year. Coach Horstman is a graduate of perennial acrobatics and tumbling powerhouse Baylor University, having won a number of national championships there for the Bears in Waco, Texas. The music dims and fades out, and here comes Heat 3. The open heat of Pyramid. Here come the Bearcats with their 10.0 start value. Looks like a squat stand there. Shively, 180 up into the air. She's going to come through the middle of the arms there and hit a pike. And she'll 180 twist down to the cradle of her bases. Nicely done by Shively and company. Open heat pyramid for the Falcons. We'll see 17, Quinn, 10, Vega. Number 20, Roach. 22, Palmore, and 9, Preston. Corinne Wilcox will be the counter. That's number 12. The Falcons are going to have a 10.0 start value of their own. After the Falcons conclude their heat, we're going to have a 15-minute halftime intermission. We'll be back right before action starts up with toss event to give you the pyramid scores and the running total for the entire meet. We'll see if Montevallo can close the gap. Lander currently sitting with just about a 2-point lead following the acro event. And with that being said, the Falcons are going to close out the second half of the open pyramid. Start value 10.0. Peyton Roach will bridge. Vega will stand atop her thighs. Quinn's going to do a 270 up atop Vega, extending, holding a nice straddle there to a 360 down. Nice, quick, good dismount. That was clean, very clean, nicely done. Short, sweet, took about 20 seconds. And that's going to wrap up first half acro action here. Like I said, folks, 15-minute break. We'll come back with the pyramid event scores, and we'll continue the second half. Stay tuned, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back. We're about to start second half action here, and the scores for the pyramid event are in. Inversion, Montevallo is going to take that heat 9.60 to Lander's 9.150. Synchronized pyramid, Montevallo with a 5.20 and Lander with a 9.30. Open pyramid goes to the Falcons with a 9.600, while the Bearcats get a 9.200. The event total, Lander is going to improve their lead by just over 3 points with a running team score, 90.900 to Montevallo's 85.550. And Lander extending that 2-point lead by just about 3 points here as we enter the second half. And we're going to introduce you to the toss event here right before we start action, folks. Stay tuned.
Before we start the second half, let's introduce
The fourth event is the toss event. In the toss event, you will see 4 athletes toss a teammate into the air. The teammate tossed into the air, known as a top, will execute a flip or twist before being caught. There are 3 heats in this event. The synchronized toss features 2 toss groups. These groups should look exactly alike and be in sync. The start value of the toss depends on the skills that the top executes in the air. Officials will be looking for height, the top's body position, and tight catches by the bases.
All right, toss heat number 1. The event start value for Lander, 28.70, while Montevallo has a slightly lower event start value at 27.80. A little less than a point there, looks like.
Second half action starts now.
All right. In Heat 1 for the Bearcats, we'll see Shively, Philcox, Groom, Sutherland, Kaiser, and Laney Carell is going to be the counter. That's number 32. Looks like Shively is going to take to the air again. Conference Carolina's Athlete of the Week. Really impressive toss. Arabian Salto tuck, open 540. That is incredible. Great work by the bases to give her the opportunity to execute all the twists necessary. That start value for Lander, 9.90. Hard to believe that wasn't a 10.0 start value, but really well done by Shively and company. In Heat 1 for the Falcons, we're going to see Quinn, Torres, Wilcox, Roach, Cooper, in the counter, number 21, Caitlin Smith. The Falcons are going to have a start value of 9.40.
Next with a start value of 9.4, Montevallo.
All right, here come the Falcons. Heat 1 toss, 9.40 start value. Looks like number 17, Katie Quinn's going to be in the air. Torres, Cooper, Wilcox, Roach will base. Looking to get her some good height here. Nicely done, a great catch by the bases. That was a back layout full toss by Quinn. Quinn got maybe a little out in front, but the bases adjusted nicely. We're able to catch her on her way back down. Excellent work across the board. We're going to go into Heat 2 toss. The Bearcats are going to have a 9.40 start value. This is the synchronized heat. We'll see 2 groups here. One group for the Bearcats will be Shively, Philcox, Groom, Sutherland, and Kaiser. Gomez, Sklau, Martin, Walker, Axiotis, and Irizarry are going to make up Group 2, Irizarry being the counter. Another one. Oh, I didn't see one.
The two of this event is the synchronized toss. First, with the start value of 9.4, Lander.
Synchronized toss coming here. Judges have finished scoring. Shively and Gomez. Hit some nice fulls. Looked like Gomez came down slightly earlier than Shively, or Shively was a little late. Nicely done. Great execution on the fulls there by the Bearcats. We're going to move into the synchronized heat for the Falcons. Quinn, Torres, Wilcox, Roach, and Cooper will be one group. Leopold, Allen, Palmore, Wright, Fashukanu, and Caitlin Smith will be your counter in the middle there. Their start value will be identical to Lander's at 9.40.
Next, with the start value of 9.4, Montevallo.
All right, we've got Quinn and Leopold going into the air. Great tosses, great height. Some synchronized back full tosses by Leopold and Quinn. Thought the synchronization looked good on both ends there. Nicely executed twists in the air as well. Heat 3 for the Bearcats incoming. The open heat. Lander's going to have a 9.40 start value to match their Heat 2 value. We'll see Gomez, Sklau, Martin, Walker, Axiotis, and Michaela Cruson will be our counter.
This event will be the open toss heat. Up first with a start value of 9.4, Lander.
Here come the Bearcats for their final heat in the toss event with a 9.40 start value. Gomez will go up top. Hits a nice full, great catch by Walker, along with Sklow and Martin as well. Open heat for the Falcons. Their start value 9.00. We're going to see Leopold, Allen, Palmore, Wright, Fashukanu, and Caitlin Smith.
Next with a start value of 9, Montevallo.
All right, to close out toss event will be the Falcons, their 9.00 start value. Leopold's going to go in the air with the help of Wright, Palmore, Allen, and Fashukanu. Nice back layout toss. Leopold got up there too. Great work by Palmore, Allen, and Fashukanu along with Wright. Excellent work. Be interesting to see how these scores play out here. Lander has a sizable 5-point lead so far. We're going to introduce you to the tumbling event here in just a second. Stay tuned for that, folks.
This event has 6. The first 3 are synchronized group tumbling tasks, the duo, trio, and quad tumbling. The last 3 are individual tumbling tasks. Start value of each heat are determined by the difficulty and combination of skills of each heat. Officials will be looking for body position, continuity of skills, and technique. Go.
Here are the scores, folks.
Please direct your attention to the video board.
Lander takes the 450 salto, 9.650 to Montevallo's 8.500. They're going to take synchronized as well with an 8.650 to Montevallo's identical 8.500 from their first heat. Lander is going to sweep toss with a 8.70 in the open, as well in comparison to Montevallo's 8.450. Montevallo has the Lander's going to have the upper hand in the event total, 27 points even to Montevallo's 25.450. Montevallo sitting at a 6 point, just over a 6 point, almost 7 point deficit. Lander with 117.900, while Montevallo sits at 111 even, entering the toss event. The tumbling event.
The first heat in the tumbling event was the duo pass. Up first with a start value of 9.55, Lander number 12, Julia Smitsko. Number 25, Audra Kaiser.
Here we are.
Fifth event is the tumbling event.
The duo pass, Smitsko and Kaiser for the Bearcats. They're going to run across the mat here.
So it's a duo, trio, and quad tumbling pass. The last three are individual tumbling passes. The start value of each heat are
good as it
determined by
gets.
the difficulty and combination of skills in each heat.
Coach
Officials will be looking
Desperalto on
for
the
body
far side of the
position,
mat is
crossing
pumped
skills,
up, and so are the
technique
athletes.
and skill.
Not sure if you guys saw that we had the informational video about the toss event, the tumbling event. Just witnessed a really good pass by the Bearcats. 4.5 step out to a full towards the end there. Really nicely done. High energy pass. Smits and Kaiser looked very strong. The start value for that particular heat, 9.55 for the Bearcats. We're going to see duo tumbling for the Falcons here coming up next. We'll see number 1 Taylor Spaney and number 5 Michaela Robinson, a freshman and sophomore. Their start value is going to be 8.35. Event start values, the Bearcats are going to have just about a 3-point start value advantage. They have a 55.85 to start, and the Falcons 52.65. All right, we got the thumbs up from the scorers table. Spaney and Robinson will take the mat.
And number 5, Michaela Robinson.
Robinson and Spaney. Great timing on the finish there. A little sizzle. Great camera work there as well. Way to be in the right spot at the right time. Great celebration. Round off with a whip, 2 back handsprings, lay out to a full. Nicely done there by Robinson and Spaney. Their start value 8.35. That was really fun stuff. We're going to move into trio. The Bearcats are going to send out Gerhard, Cruzen, and Barrientes. Their start value 8.75. As I mentioned in the open, it is senior day, and the Falcons will honor their 3 seniors towards the end of the meet, maybe in between team events. But Corinne Wilcox, Caitlin Smith, and Peyton Roach are the 3 seniors that will be honored here today. We want to thank them for helping build the young program. We absolutely wish them well in their future endeavors. That being said, trio pass for the Bearcats. 8.75 their start value. Pretty well timed. Good execution. When they twist, they do get one step. And you gotta love the celebrations at the end. You gotta make it fun. Nicely done. You saw a round off back handspring to a full and a half there at the end. Excellent work. Montevallo for their trio pass will have an identical start value to the Bearcats. We'll see McAllister, Torres, and Wright, a trio of sophomores. Try to match or outdo that performance from the Bearcats. Montevallo sitting at a 5, maybe a 6-point deficit if memory serves. There's the thumbs up from the scores table. Here we go. Trio pass, McAllister, Torres, and Wright.
Number 16, Morgan Wright. Number 19,
Start value for them, 8.75, matching that of the Bearcats. The trio of sophomores. That's pretty nice. That is well timed. They get one step if they twist. Really good stuff. Round off, back handspring, full and a half there at the end. Sophomores getting it done in trio pass. We'll see 4 athletes run across the mat this time. We've got the quad pass, the familiar face of Shively for the Bearcats, Casisto, Powers, and Monkaline, or perhaps Monkaline. If I mispronounced it, all apologies. But their start value, 8.00. That'll match Montevallo's here following the conclusion of the Bearcats heat.
Synchronized passes will be the quad pass. Up first, with a star value of 8.0, Lander. Number 2, Ashlyn Slidley. Number 5, Danielle Casisto. Number 7, McKenna Monkaline. Number 41, Chloe Powers.
Lander's got some pretty good synchronization. That's good. That's really good stuff there. Round off, back handspring. They finished with some fulls. Looks like they landed at the same time. Not too many steps at the end there either. Really good synchronization and tumbling. Not easy to do. Here we go for the Falcons. Fashu Kanu, number 2. Olivia Preston, number 9. Katie Quinn, 17, and Leopold, the lone freshman with a trio of sophomores. That's number 23. Their start value equivalent to that of Lander's 8.0. Nice pass previously by Shively to Sisto, Moncaline, and Powers. Following this heat, we'll see 3 individual passes apiece from the Bearcats and Falcons alike.
Next with the start value of 8.0, Montevallo. Number 2, Savella Fashikanu. Number 9, Olivia Preston. Number 17, Katie Quinn. Number 23, Tracy Leopold.
All right, the Falcons will take the mat.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
off to back handsprings, finishing with some fulls. 3 sophomores and the freshmen, Quinn, Preston, Fashucano, and Leopold, they'll head through the celebration tunnel. Really good stuff. Both teams in the quad pass look absolutely excellent. We have the aerial pass coming up next. Number 12 for the Bearcats, Julie Smitko, She'll start from the diagonal back corner and run across the mat. Her start value will be a 10. So we're going to look to see some pretty impressive tumbling here out of Smitko. Judges have finished scoring, and we'll introduce Smitko here.
First with the start value 10.0, Lander, number 12, Julia Smitko.
From diagonal corner will be Smitko. Smitko approaching. Nicely done by Smitko. The front tuck at the beginning to a 4.5 finish with a full. Had to show some endurance and power there at the end to get through all those movements, and they crown her what appears to be the Queen of Tumbling. Very nice. Oh, you gotta love these acro celebrations, folks. Get out to a meet. If you got, a program in your area, local college has it, get out to a meet. The energy is always great. The athletes are dancing, celebrating. The coaches are into it. The fans get into it. It's a really great environment here. Sports in general, highly competitive. A lot of great skill sets. Get out to an acro meet, folks. It's a growing sport. Recently sanctioned by the NCAA as a championship sport. I'll have more on that later. But growing sport, fun sport. The energy is always positive. The energy is always high. Really great stuff here. We're going to move on into Montevallo's aerial pass. Michaela Robinson, sophomore, number 5, is going to take to the mat on this one. She's going to run across the middle. Her start value, 9.25.
Next with a start value of 9.25, Montevallo number 5, Michaela Robinson.
Robinson. Incoming. Here she goes. Looking to push through at the end. Oh, not quite. Just couldn't quite stick the landing there. Looked like she lost her footing at the tail end. Up until then, you know, she got through everything. Round off into a whip, 2 back handsprings, and got through the rotation on a full and a half. Just could not quite stick the landing, unfortunately. We'll move into the 6-element pass. We're going to see Audra Kaiser, number 25 for the Bearcats, with a start value of 9.55. Following the tumbling event, we'll enter the final event of the afternoon. That's going to be team event. We'll have a blurb, a little informational video on that here on the conclusion and the scores of the tumbling event. Still got 2 heats left, but the meet nearing a close. Lander having a pretty sizable lead at the moment here over the Falcons. And Audra Kaiser is going to run across the middle for her 9.55 start value tumbling pass. Oh, wow, nice full and a half. Finished with a full Kaiser. Coach is pumped up. Kaiser with a heck of a pass there. And she'll crowd surf into her awaiting teammates. All right. Number 19, Rylan McAllister. 6-element pass. She has an identical start value to that of Kaiser of 9.55.
Next with the start value of 9.55, Montevallo number 19, Rylan McAllister.
McAllister's going to be from the diagonal back corner, 9.55. The sophomore. Good air. Oh, she just couldn't quite finish through. Looks like her hand slipped. Yeah, it looks like she just barely lost her hand placement there after the front handspring, or the front tuck rather, in the step out. And finally, the open tumbling pass for the Bearcats will feature Jaden Irizarry, excuse me. Her start value is going to be a 10 as well. Irizarry is going to come from the diagonal back corner. Approaching. Irizarry. 3 whips. She stays in bounds. It looks like it's close. The judges are grinning. They're going to debate that one. It looks like it's really close, but the 3 whips and finishing with a full and a half by Irizarry, a 10.0 start value. Really close. You know, we don't have replay today. You know, did she take too many steps? Are they going to counter inbounds? You know, it was a little toe tap on the edge there, and she's trying to avoid a deduction, but a really great pass there by Irizarry. 10.0 start value. We'll take our attention to the Falcons now. Sophomore Ali Torres will be the tumbler in the open pass. Her start value is going to be 8.75. After this, the teams will make their final preparations for the team event to conclude the meet.
Next with a start value of 8.75, Montevallo number 8, Ali Torres.
Torres is going to run across the middle here. 8.75 the start value. Torres with some really great air into the full and a half there. She starts with a round off back handspring and concluded with a lot of bounce, a lot of air in the full and a half. That's going to conclude the tumbling event, folks. We're going to move on to team event. In the meantime, we're going to show you a video that describes the team event here while we wait for the tumbling event scores and the running meet total. Stay tuned, folks.
One time performing skills in acro, toss, pyramid, and tumbling in a routine set.
The 6th event is the team event. This event encompasses everything you just watched in the first 5 events. The team event features up to 24 athletes on the floor at one time performing skills in acro, toss, pyramid, and tumbling in a routine set to music. Key items for officials to evaluate include synchronization of skills, stability of the structures, body position, and technique of the tumbling. This is a very fast-paced event, so be sure to keep your eyes on the mat.
The scores for tumbling event.
Looks like the scores are in, folks.
Please direct your attention to the video board.
Tumbling scores up on our video board here. There we are. Duo pass goes to Lander. 9.150. Montevallo 7.550. Montevallo takes trio. Montevallo takes quad. Aerial for Lander, an impressive 9.500. 6 element and open also go to Lander with some 9s as well. 6 element 9.200, 9.625. Open for Torres, 8.475. Her start value, 8.75. An impressive showing from Torres there in the open pass.
Montevallo 7.35.
Lander now with a 14-point lead heading into team event. Montevallo scores a 45.950 in the tumbling event, where Lander pulling away with a 52.325 in the tumbling event. We're going to move on to team event here, folks. Lander is going to go first with a 99.95 start value to conclude their meet.
Now for the final event, with a 99.95 star value, please welcome to the floor the Lander Bearcats.
There you have it for the Bearcats, an impressive showing in the team event. Really solid, very well synchronized, some good tumbling all around. Bearcats had a really good team event there, 99.95 start value.
Links to social media, as well as information about the
In the meantime, some big acro news this year. On January 16th, the NCAA elevated acrobatics and tumbling to championship status. Acrobatics and tumbling now advances from the NCAA Emerging Sports for Women to become a national championship collegiate program. The first national championships from all 3 divisions will be crowned in spring of 2027. Acro needed at least 40 schools sponsoring the sport at the varsity level to achieve that milestone. They currently sit at 52, and they're growing each week. It seems like more schools are adding programs. So, you know, I give a huge shout out to all involved, the NCATA, all the coaches and athletes, you know, of the past who built the sport from the ground up. It's you know, monumental achievement for the women of the sport. And yeah, we're very excited to see the first national championship crown. So a tip of the cap to all the ladies involved and to the NCATA, all coaches, athletes. Monumental achievement. And the Lanier seniors were just honored here on Senior Day. Something cool Montevallo does. We recognize seniors from both programs that happened last year as well. So congratulations to the seniors of the Bearcat Acrobatics and Tumbling team. Well done. Should be very proud of your accomplishments, and good luck in all your future endeavors, seniors. By all accounts, this looks like it could be the final home event for Montevallo, hence Senior Day. Falcons are going to look to send out their seniors on their home mat one last time after a strong team event performance. Their start value, 96.40. All right, the music dims. We've got the thumbs up from the judges. 96.40 start value for the Falcons. Final time on the home mat for number 12, Corinne Wilcox, number 20, Peyton Roach, number 21, Caitlin Smith. Here we go. And there you have it, folks. That's going to conclude the meet. Montevallo with an inspired team event performance. Their seniors will leave the mat for the final time at home.
Montevallo 6.850, which brings their meet total to 156.950.
Looks like there was a correction in the score, folks. Didn't quite catch all of it, but might have been an error in the reporting there on the scoring. I don't know, but it sounds like there was just a correction.
All senior day escorts, please report to the scorers table.
We're going to take a moment here. Our PA announcer is going to honor the trio of seniors for Montevallo: Wilcox, Roach, and Smith.
like to recognize our 2026 senior class.
And here are your three seniors once again, folks, walking with
First is number 12, Corinne Wilcox. Corinne is a senior who hails from Duke Center, Pennsylvania. Corinne currently serves as the president of the Exercise Science Club while also being a member of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Corinne is a three-time member of both the President's List and Academic Honor Roll. One of Corinne's favorite moments with the team was securing the first conference win over Mars Hill, while also receiving a 9.8 in comp pyramid and a team score of 251 plus. Corinne is set to graduate in May of 2026 with an exercise and nutrition science degree with a concentration in strength and conditioning. Corinne plans to obtain her CSCS certification and attend graduate school for exercise science. Corinne is being escorted by Teresa Wilcox and Corey Wilcox. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Corinne Wilcox.
Corinne Wilcox, ladies and gentlemen.
Number 20, Peyton Roach.
Number 20, Peyton Roach, approaching the mat now with her family.
Florida. Peyton serves in many organizations at Montevallo and was also the Montevallo representative at the NCATA Student Athlete Leadership Forum. Her favorite moments with the team have been the bus rides with the team, convincing Coach Katie to buy them ice cream at Presbyterian, and doing the crowd surf with Coach Katie after the first conference win. Peyton is set to graduate in December of 2026 with a degree in Business Administration and Accounting. Peyton plans to either pursue an MBA or Master's in Accounting. Either way, she will be spending most of her time studying for the CPA. Peyton is being escorted by Charles and Teresa Roach. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Peyton Roach. Next is number 21, Caitlin Smith.
And finally, Caitlin Smith, folks.
Caitlin is a senior who hails from Waxahachie, Texas. Caitlin currently serves as the vice president of the Exercise Science Club. Caitlin is a two-time second-team All-MEC honoree and has maintained president's list in her time at UM. Some of Caitlin's favorite moments with the team have been winning the inaugural meet against Talladega, meet day rituals with the team, and jam sessions on the bus ride home from away meets. Caitlin is set to graduate in May of 2026 with an exercise and nutrition science degree with a strength and conditioning concentration. Caitlin plans to obtain her CSCS certification and become a college strength and conditioning coach. She is being escorted by Kevin and Jerry Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Caitlin Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for our 2026 senior class.
Congratulations again to Corinne Wilcox, Peyton Roach, and Caitlin Smith. Your contributions to University of Montevallo and specifically the Acrobatics and Tumbling program are sincerely appreciated. So we congratulate you and we wish you all the very best in your time post-graduation endeavors. Very well done and congratulations on exceptional academic and athletic careers. Up next for the Falcons, they're going to take a road trip to Florence, South Carolina to take on Francis and Marion on March 20th at 5 p.m. They'll then travel to Bristol, Tennessee to take on King University. That is going to be Monday, March 23rd. Up next for Lander, they'll be hosting Converse, who was number 2 ranked. Excuse me, they were not. That was Coker. Excuse me, I was mistaken. And they'll host Conference Carolina's foe, Converse. Looks like in front of a home crowd. This being our last broadcast here, unless the postseason seeding shakes up and we get a home meet here for the postseason, if we're fortunate enough for that, I got to shout out our production crew, producers, camera crew. They'll provide the replays, those informative clips you see between events. They make sure my sound's right. They make this job opportunity here incredibly easy. So I definitely want to shout out production crew, all the camera crew walking around here, getting you all the nice angles, providing replays. So a tip of the cap to you guys. You guys do the dirty work, all the hard work, and not the front-facing stuff. So thank you very much for making my job here incredibly easy. Shout out to the production crew. We're waiting for team event scores and the final event totals as well. We'll get those to you as soon as we can, folks, when the judges finish those tallies.
Since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard to vacation. People hate changing up, we made it.
I'm waiting for the video board.
Oh, I see. We got the thumbs up from the scores table, folks. Waiting on the video board update, and here it is. Final score in team event, Lander's going to get an 82.540, Montevallo 77.090. Final score, Lander's going to take this one 252.765 to Montevallo's 233.540. So Montevallo going to take a loss in the conference standings, bringing their conference record to 2-1, 1-2 overall, and Lander's going to improve their record to 4-2.
Congratulations to all the competitors today.
And improve their conference record as well.
And team event for Lander, 82.540. And team event for
Montevallo looks won the compulsory event, and following that, Lander looked pretty tough in acro, pyramid toss, and tumbling. Had a lot of firepower in all those events.
233.540.
That's going to conclude our broadcast. Again, thank you to our production team, you guys, the viewers, for tuning into Acrobatics and Tumbling and our home meets that we've had this year. If we're lucky enough, we'll get a conference home meet in the conference tournament in the postseason. Until next time, folks, we'll have a short interview with head coach Katie Horseman. My name is Zach Rieger. It's been my pleasure being your host for this season, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.